Kamakura.
So this is Kamakura? Oh look, there's some big slippers we didn't get a photo of that.
Where?
On that side.
If we came early, we can go inside the boots.
Or can we?
Yeah.
Sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure, but now it's closed.
Okay.
You see the sign there? What sign?
The emperor rose against his own generals, and for the first time, the samurai turned their blades inward. When the shogun of Kamakura called for loyalty, their armies answered with silence. Even the shogun's most trusted men switched teams mid-battle. Kamakura was surrounded. The regents took their own lives. The city went up in flames. And Japan's first military government collapsed under the weight of its own honor. And what survived was not power, but faith. A monument to stillness in a nation that had just torn itself apart. While armies destroyed each other, this statue sat in silence. And when men abandoned honor for survival, this statue reminded them of something outside the bounds of time. Something rooted not in land, but in the sky. Power had burned itself to ash, and the city that once ruled Japan lay silent. Its palaces gone, its warriors scattered, and yet something remained. This great Buddha was born in the very heart of the shogunate's power. It survived the wars that they began and weathered the storms that erased their temples. Even the hall that once sheltered it was swept away. Only the Buddha stayed seated. As the samurai's age of conquest gave way to exhaustion, faith turned inward. Zen and Pure Land Buddhism spread through a restless people, offering peace not through victory, but through surrender of the self. Here in Kamakura, where armies once swore allegiance, the only oath that matters is silence through peace. Empires fall, nature endures, and sometimes peace says more than power ever could. The life of this world was made beautiful to those who sought power, and they mocked those who lived by faith. But every empire ends the same way. And those who feared something greater than themselves stand above them now. In the final years of Kamakura, belief itself began to change. Buddhism was no longer a courtly philosophy. It became the refuge of soldiers, monks, and the broken. The warriors found calm in Zen, and the poor found hope in the Pure Land. And through it all, the divine, the creator of the mountains and the sea, never left. Here faith didn't fight for territory. The Buddha offered salvation beyond this world, and the Kami offered protection within it. Two paths, different in form, but bound by the same wind that carried every prayer from this city to the sky. In Kamakura, Buddhism and Shinto stood side by side. Reflections of the human search for meaning in a world defined by impermanence. A noble yearning for peace, yet a path without revelation. Their harmony was beautiful, but their foundation divided. Faith scattered across many forms, reaching for truth it could never name. It was light searching for its source before the dawn. Komachi-dōri has a way of misleading. At first glance, it's just another busy shopping street in Japan, the kind every city picks up eventually. But if you watch how people move here, you notice something quieter woven into the noise. Not belief, not doctrine, just habits. Buddhism and Shinto didn't fade from Japanese life. They simply settled into the everyday. Gesturing before a meal, a bow at a doorway, hands pressed together for a moment, even when no one's watching. The etiquette Japan is known for today, the soft-spoken courtesy, the cleanliness, the ritualized greetings, has roots that reach back to temple discipline and shrine customs. What began as spiritual practice slowly evolved into social expectation. In Japan, faith didn't vanish, it simply became culture. And as we leave this street behind, that pattern becomes clearer with every step. Especially when we reach the place where these habits were once lived with intention.
You ready to move on?
Komachi-dōri may look like a modern street, but walk it slowly and you start to see the pattern. Shrine rituals hidden in daily gestures. Buddhist discipline tucked inside ordinary manners. A culture shaped by faith, long after faith stopped asking for followers. That's the quiet truth of this place. Japan didn't abandon its old religions. It absorbed them. They became etiquette. They became instinct. They became the invisible architecture of how people move, speak, hope, and behave. And here in the busiest lane of Kamakura, these old threads still hold the city together. And once you see that pattern here, you start noticing it everywhere. In the gestures, in the silences, in the way people inhabit space.
Okay, sorry.
And hidden away from Kamakura's crowds, beyond the shops and the noise, there's a place where Buddhism was practiced not as culture, but as discipline. A temple of bamboo and austerity, where silence wasn't an accident, but a way of sharpening the mind. Kamakura was never just a capital. It was a period in a nation's history, yearning for discipline, belief, and power. In a world that was still learning what it meant to govern itself. The samurai tried to build a society on two foundations: Shinto's sense of belonging and Buddhism's promise of inner clarity. One rooted people to the land, to their ancestors, to each other. The other asked them to master the storms inside themselves. But even with those guides, the shogunate struggled. Power pulls people in different directions. Ambition tests loyalty. And the ideals that were meant to steady the nation were often sacrificed for capital gain. History remembers their victories, but it quietly remembers their failures too. Their struggles are not so different from ours. We still wrestle with ego, with responsibility, with the weight of expectation, with the fear of losing what gives us meaning. We still search for grounding, a place, a belief, a ritual, to help us move through a world that changes faster than we do. In Kamakura, answers didn't come from power, they came from balance. Kamakura tried to hold the nation together with two inherited truths. Shinto reminding people that they belong to something bigger, and Buddhism reminding them that their battles often came from within. Those ideas didn't make the shogunate immune to conflict. They struggled with ambition, betrayal, fear. The same currents that pull at us now. But the more you walk through Kamakura, the more you realize their story is less about what they built and more about what outlasted them. Not the castle, not the titles, not the victories. What survived were the habits, the way people greet each other, the quiet order, the instinct to step gently through the world. Isn't it ironic how a civilization's loudest moments fade, but its smallest rituals remain? Nations rise and fall, beliefs transform, people change, but the struggles that shaped Kamakura remain the same struggles that shape us to this very day. And that's why this place matters. It's not just history, it's a deeper truth about who we are and who we're still trying to become.
I gotta